The subject is quite known one by one. The slides are only for our reference. Entrepreneurship and business. What is the real difference between the two? Please move to the next slide. Hello. Please move to the next slide. Okay. Entrepreneurship is the person has some dream and he starts working on it. And when he starts working on it, he start without normally planning. But what he does is he has some idea or product and he plunges into the market with that. And the business aspects are totally different. Could you go to the back one slide back where the difference is? Yeah. So the businessman, what is the difference between that? Businessman, the entrepreneur for the very good product or service. This is a must. Good product or service. Otherwise, many of the businesses fail because the product is not well developed or the service is not well thought of. To offer to the society to earn predetermined profit sufficient to create liquidity in business and sufficient reserves and surplus for growth and safety. This is very essential. Many collapse because this is not planned. What people do that, okay, this is the cost of production, I am selling at this, in between is the profit. But when we plan it systematically, we understand many a times that this is not the case. Recently, I was working with one of the mentees, and what happened? He was manufacturing paper bags to be supplied to the big malls, etc. And he was proudly telling me that I am selling it for 8 rupees and my production cost is only 7 rupees. And then when I looked at all the costing, etc., it was found out that he was not, he was running the show, running around. His wife was controlling the manufacturing. Both of them, they had not taken any salary. No, sir, we have some reserves. But this salary is to be taken out of that and profit. When every cost of the house rent, etc., were added, it was found out that he is losing 1 rupee back. And as the money was coming in and flowing out, he was not understanding that he is not making profit. So first you have to decide of how much profit is to be earned, and then by identifying all required resources, deploying them in a planned manner and controlling it stage wise. These are the things which a businessman does, and he doesn't do it with his own hands all the times, but he transfers his vision, delegates, empowers the employees to achieve his vision. And that's the difference between an entrepreneurship and a businessman. Please go to the next slide. Hello. Yeah. Now, business focus, how it should be. So there are most of the books which are available, most of the lectures which we see, they said that it has to be customer centric. So see what customer needs. Yes, one point is very clear. What you have, you should not give to the customer. You should have identified a problem in the society and what customer has. So design engineering of your service or product has to be done, and what customer wants is to be developed and given to him. Second approach, nowadays many companies are or rather many consultants are saying that it has to be employee centric. Keep your all the employees very cool, calm, and dedicated to this, and look for their future. Show them the growth path. So be employee centric, and when you care for the employees, it happens. In one of the cases which I am going to discuss is about how to care for the employees. In 3 examples I am taking, I'll be narrating it at the last. And third one is nationalistic. What Modi ji says, Atmanirbhar Bharat. But this is not the first time this phrase is being coined like this. Tata Group, when they started first steel mill, it was the focus that in our nation, steel production is a must, and I'll do everything for that. So, for that, how to build that industry? So, the approach is that whatever is needed for national development, and when the nation gets developed, everybody gets developed. And for that, every industry has to strive for that. So, this is the most realistic and uh, growing approach nowadays, because many companies talk about ethical business and value based business, and Tata's had demonstrated it worldwide by their own example. So this approach really makes them great. And when you compare with their earning capacities and net worth, etc., this really makes a very big sense. And still with this approach, one can grow and grow with esteem. This is the message which we get because of this approach. So whatever we want to dream as an entrepreneur, we have to think nationally. Why? Let us see in the next slide. Why should I think of others? This is the first question, because we are living in a society where we have to struggle a lot for earning our own bread. So why should I think of others? This is the question asked by many. But the answer is in next slide. What really nature teaches us. First lesson of life. You see, when the baby takes birth, what nature tells us. When the baby doesn't cry, what doctors do? They pat on the back, hang it, maybe splash some water on it, then baby starts crying. What does it mean? When baby cries, what really happens? The gases which are inside are given out. When we speak, the air is exhaled. So you have to give out something. That is the message which nature gives us exactly at the time of our birth. But we forget that. And what, and next slide, you can say, Einstein, what he said, 100 times every day, I remind myself that my internal and external life depended on the labors of others, living and dead. And I must exert myself in the same measure as I have received and still receiving. This is the way in which one has to approach to the world, that I have to give back, and that's why I have to work. And that's why you have to create a vision. And next slide, please. And when we are trying to do this, start with vision, thinking of big problem. I was visiting Electrolux for one of my work, and at the factory gate, very big letters, they had written this: want to get a good opportunity, look for a big problem. And that is the way one has to see that in society, what is the problem which I am going to solve with whatever product or service I am envisaging, and how to make it better and offer it to the society. So maybe similar type of services are there, but I have to give them a unique selling proposition. What is it? It is what people have not understood, that in this product or in this service, this is what is lacking. Now, when Ohio chain started, the young boy saw that what is needed in the hotel industry, what type of service is needed, and he started his chain and started booking hotels. So he's created an USP for the services which were available. So one has to see, and then it is well designed. Then train the people how to use the service, etc. All that product or service, it has to be very good in quality first, and then you have to have an USP to start with. So when you have a vision, what is the best out of it? That in achieving that vision is a very big target. So achieving that, you have to work out mission for yourself, then put it into small pieces, and then start working on it. Next slide, please. So next slide. National yeah, wasting. Process of planning. Please, process of planning again. Hello. Always product or service for the analyze product and service for detailed resource matrix. Every product or service requires n number of resources, right from maybe office to start with, then the furniture, then if the product is there, manufacturing setup for that. For manufacturing, you have to buy raw material. So purchase department is required, purchasing activity is required, selling activity is required, then quality control is required. All these require resources. For quality control, you might be requiring measuring tools, feedback forms, etc. So each and every resource, you have to have maybe a manpower resource, maybe technology resource. So list all of them together and define product manufacturing process and logistic chain for the product, and then align this and define business logistic chain again, that there are interactions between all the departments with customer, with total public access, all stakeholders. You have to have communication and creating a logistic chain from all the sides to see that the business is run smoothly, and calculate and assign cost of every identified resource. This is very essential, that many of times, many costs, as I told you in the example of that paper bag, that he was not considering the cost of some resources. So if the meticulously worked out cost of resources are there, then you can definitely come to a right costing structure of all identified resources. Next slide, please. Hello. Next slide, please. Execution tips. Then okay, when this matrix is ready, there are basic tips which one has to remember, that always select the processes of global standards. If you do not do this, what happens? One thing, quality gets deteriorated. Secondly, your ideas, if they are good, somebody else copies your product, and because he has planned it well, he goes much ahead and you remain at your own level. So whatever is applicable and available in the global standard, if you meet that with all good business plan, you can retain yourself. You have to be running to be steady in this stage. That is the main message which we get. Select the most competent manpower. JRD Tata once was asked why, what is the reason that so many things and so many talented people you are in a position to control. He said basically it is required that for running the show, you select a correct person, let him run, and share your vision with him, so that whatever you want, he is competent enough to deliver it. Don't interfere him, just facilitate him. So you have to have better competent people in every aspect of the business, and give them what they want, facilitate them, and retain them. So it's not controlling them. You just go on sharing your vision, and they achieve the things for you. Empower them, guide them, facilitate them. Try to avoid functional responsibilities for yourself. In the beginning, when you are starting as an entrepreneur, it is difficult, but it has to be in your plan that you want to be away from functional responsibilities, and you have to be in charge of the total business as such. All the parts of the business to whom you have delegated, they are working well, whether they are requiring any help from you, what type of facilitation they require, you have to concentrate on that, and how to expand on your vision. You have to have time for that, and you have to have maximum time devoted to this activity when you are delegating it very correctly. Constantly study actual progress as per the business plan. Monitor the plan through people to accomplish your vision. And doing that, if you become very much theoretical, as Rabbi said, sir said in the beginning, that you have to go on changing the plan. Once the business plan is made, this document is a dynamic document. Many feedbacks you get from your colleagues and people who are working with you, from customers, from every nook and corner of the world, you are getting feedback. So be practical to accommodate them to your plan, and dynamically change it every now and then whenever required in a systematic way. How to do that change is also a part of the plan. Please go ahead. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. Then for this, you have already calculated the cost of every resource. Add contingency to it. It is very essential because otherwise the things do backfire, and that everybody is experiencing. Come to comprehensive projected budget, which is with the contingencies considered. Then extrapolate the budget for sustainable break-even point. Break-even point quantity is essential. What happens many a times, the scale of operation, if it is not correct, then somebody else, as I said, copies the concept and goes ahead. And because he has planned it better, he has better resources to do that, he goes ahead. So it is very essential that a particular quantity has to be there to enter into the market. That this much market, this is the marketing strategy with which I'll be approaching the market. Market factors, it gets punished. Then reassign phase-wise budget. When why phase-wise budget is essential, that you are planning for next 5 years, which is normally being asked by all financing companies, banks, and VCs, etc. They say that okay, give us 5 years plan, and in that 5 years plan, you see when I had taken long back in I think 82. Mr. S.P. Ranade was the in charge of the new Mitcon, which was getting developed. And I was not knowing anything. I was too young to understand business, absolutely novice in that. But my maternal uncle brought a proposal that Mitcon is a upcoming company. They want a layout planning consultant. And I didn't know that I'd have to submit it at which stage, etc. At that time, T square, set square, etc. with board, I did a very good plan. And on the day of tender opening, I went there. And Mr. Anade said, Beta, you are late. The order in the morning, I have this process is completed and I have given it to one architect. Then I said that how do I approach? You know, I have done so much thing. Let him use whatever I have done, so that if some idea is strikes to him, he can use it. I don't mind, but my work should not go thus. So he accepted. Then I explained him everything, how I have designed, what are the consideration, etc. And when he saw that, he said, Kiran, I am giving a second order. In spite of that order, you make your plan, because I had planned it with budget for next 5 years. That whenever you are going to expand, there would be acceleration in prices. The same thing would cost more, etc. And he really appreciated that thing, that one has to look into so many things, and this is very essential whenever we are planning a project. So reassign phase-wise budget is very essential. Establish control mechanism stage-wise. That is also essential because you are going to control the business and not individual activities. And then transfer your vision, mission, goals by training and delegation. When we say delegation, it means the person who is going to get that delegation has to understand whatever you want and whatever the business wants, and has to create his own mental program for that. When he becomes ready to do that, then only it's a perfect delegation, and he starts acting without your instructions, and that is achieved through delegation, training. For training, for delegating whatever work he wants to do, and then empowering totally. Like in one of the factories in Belgaum, they have empowered the people to such an extent that machine operator himself, whenever he thinks that for next job he would be needing those tools, the suppliers are already selected by purchase department. He has to send or message to that, and the goods come in. so much empowerment is given to the worker state. This is very difficult, but once achieved, the total business runs very nicely and smoothly, and responsibility, accountability is to be given. But when we say empowerment, authority is also given to do that, and that is very essential while planning these finances. Next slide, please. Financial planning. When you now know how much is the total budget, study the projected budget, calculate contribution required. This is very essential because nobody normally finances you without your contribution. Nowadays, minimum 30% contribution is required, rather with contingencies. It is a little more than that, which bankers don't tell or those people don't tell. You have to be ready with that. Add contingencies to it. Calculate collateral security is required because nowadays this is also becoming essentially, especially in India. Outside the scenes are different, and if some global VC is going to give you, might be it gets reduced, and he puts in all that money required, but then your liability towards it also goes on increasing. So for business, you have to have collateral, and when you say collateral, your wife may not agree. You say you have a house and you say I want to mortgage. Your wife would say, no, no, I won't go to this situation. And another wife can say, oh, we can live with it. Let us sell it off, get the money. We'll have a rented house, but cherish your dreams and I'm with you. Vada pav kha ke rahenge. The way in which your own people support you, this is also very essential. This is also part of contribution, and one has to consider that how good support in that contribution from various agencies, relatives, friends, crowdfunding. But you have to plan it well, that how you are going to create that contribution stage wise, so that you do not enter into trouble. Next, please. Now, practical examples. Ravindra Joshi. Ravindra, are you online?
Yes, sir.
Ah, sir, I had sent some pictures of Ravindra Joshi getting award in the hands of Smriti Irani ji. You have them on your WhatsApp, sir. Could you just share that?
Uh, I think I have not transferred this.
Okay, please transfer. Meanwhile, I'll ask him to narrate about the experience of getting award, how he approached them, etc. Ravindra, please tell them that how you entered into this competition and got this prize.
Uh, okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your support. And my name is Ravindra Joshi, and I have been connected with Mr. Kiran Nawate, sir, since the since this end of my second year. So it has been 2 years of togetherness, and we had done a hybrid electric vehicle project for four-wheeler. And then during the regarding this award, so during the lockdown, I had a financial crunch inside my house. I didn't have any money to do further prototyping, so I was doing a conversion of a Suzuki Esteem vehicle into a plug-in hybrid, which can drive on engine as well as motor. But yeah, but while doing that project, we were out of budget during the COVID time. So, so the only solution which we can find is to participate in different student level competitions. As I have a business plan ready and I have two, three projects fully ready with the database and all the calculations. So either I can go with the business plan competitions and I can go with the engineering project level competitions also. So I had participated in about 30 competitions during the lockdown just to collect money for the further stuff prototyping or further startup processes. So one of the competition was the Udan Business Plan Presentation Competition organized by Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Petroleum Technology. After that, in that competition, we have to submit our proposal, all our calculations, like on the definition of startup is the new innovation which we do, and the proof of the concept also. So we had submitted the business proposal that this is all we have done and this is all we have going to do. And this hybrid kit, when retrofitted with the car or when it is retrofitted with the bike, it can save up to 72% of fuel efficiency. And and also it can save up to 69% of the money which is spent on daily traveling distances. So in this way, I had explained all the things to the business proposal, and I had also explained what is the scope of this business plan in the next 5 years. Because as we see, the electric vehicles are growing day by day, and because the prices of petrol are quite high. So when the prices of petrol are quite high, so we can use electricity for the daily commutation distances, and this is how we can reduce our daily commutation distances uh, by 98%. So like if we spend 100 rupees on petrol on a per day basis, we spend about 3000 rupees on a per month basis, and this is how we spend about 36,000 rupees on a yearly basis. But when it comes to electricity, we spend just 15 paise on a per kilometer basis, so it comes down to be 2500 rupees to 3300 sorry, 3000 rupees on a per year basis. So in this way we save up to 90% or 95% of money spent on the vehicle. And also it is maintenance free, and you don't have to stop anywhere in between to fuel up your vehicle again and again. So when I participated in this Udan level competition, I had explained all the things, all the marketing scope, and all the calculations done on this business plan. And then after I had a screening process 3 times. So first presentation was on July, and the second presentation was in the month of August, and the third presentation was in the month of September. And then in the Diwali season, I got an information that we are approaching Smriti Irani for for the prize distribution ceremony, and you are the first one. You are the first. You have received a first place in the business plan competition. And I had presented my work for the four wheeler as well as for two wheeler also. So currently we are doing a business. We had successfully served Miss Plethora Power Private Limited, who is it's a company in Chakan, and we have retrofitted their company vehicle into a plug-in hybrid. We have also delivered our kit to Nagpur and for further prototyping, and they will do the prototyping and they will start the distributorship on channel there also. And we are also in planning with Multitech Products Private Limited, who is in which is a company in Pirangot, and they are planning to do their vehicles retrofitted also. And the best part is the way we can customize their vehicle. So we can customize their vehicle according to the high tech electrical vehicles available in market. Like we can convert their powertrain system into a pure electric as well as hybrid. We can add an anti-theft or a GPS tracker inside their vehicle, so that when your vehicle is stolen or if one of your staff is taking your vehicle, you can easily track the vehicle. And when your vehicle is stolen, in that case you can switch off your vehicle just with the help of the uh, app in your mobile phone. And when you switch it off, after 15 seconds the vehicle will turn off and you can't able to move the vehicle also. So like you won't be able to drag the vehicle also. So in this way the anti-theft of the electric motor works. So in this way we are customized our products, and we are still finding the market segment, and still finding the product market fit, and the process is still going on. So I would like to thank Mr. Kiran Nawate sir to be in with me, because for the whole four-wheeler project it was very hard, and in the end we didn't end up very good because we don't have the customer viable product. But the sir has helped me a lot in that segment, and I can I can't thank you enough for helping me that in that way. So thank you sir, thank you so much sir.
Yeah. Now I would like to pitch in. Thank you, Ravindra.
Thank you.
The main thing I want to understand, means for everybody's understanding, that how really entrepreneurship gets developed. He is a very good example. he approached me when he was in second year of engineering with a passion, and the passion was to build four-wheeler, hybrid four-wheeler, and that was his dream, his passion, and he was ready even to come out of college, leave the college, and concentrate on this. He then came up with his father to me. Then I advised him that let him continue with this passion, but let him complete the thing also. But he was passionate enough to work on this all the time. Not that he is coming from a good financial background. His father is working somewhere, but the passion is so great that he could overcome all the obstacles which were coming because of the uh, financial states type of a help. Rather, ours is an incubation center, but government couldn't finance it uh, in proper time. So we were really handicapped to go ahead. He, uh, but he was uh, so much determined that he put all his efforts, and as the efforts you must have seen how much different it is, and still we are now developing it to a very good product that uh, there are customer friendliness in use. How to do that? So he's working on that so that the it could be marketed well with so many garages who to whom he will be supplying the kits and training those garages how to convert it into hybrid vehicle or individual electrically driven vehicle or battery operated vehicle. So this type of choices are available, and I think he is on the right path. What is needed is help him to understand business part of it better, so that it becomes more and more sustainable. And we are working on that model. And I request all these uh, TTA members to help such entrepreneurs to see that the again whatever he has dreamt, he has seen in my presentation what I said, that a nationalistic approach to this, that nation has this problem and I am in a position to solve it. And for that, whatever may happen, even I have to leave my education, but I'll follow this. When this type of zeal is there and these boys are really guided well, I think we can make our dreams of Atmanirbhar Bharat a correct dream or truth in itself. Thank you, Ravindra. Now, I'm going to talk about another two cases, because whatever was the intention uh, in presenting this was giving you some live cases, but as Amruta Mangale is my second mentee, she started her business now almost 2 years back, because second year is completing on this 31st of March. In first year, she had done turnover of 1.5 crore, 1.6 crores. She is making manufacturing adhesives, and while manufacturing adhesives, how to sell them? She is a chemist herself and was in a position to develop exactly as per the requirement. But the competition was from very big houses who are manufacturing adhesives like Pidilite, etc. There are very big houses, and which have contracts with most of the tape manufacturers. So she asked them what to do. Uh, could you try my adhesive at least? They say, why? But she said, what is the bulk which you are buying? They said 3 months quantity of our adhesives we are getting from these big houses, because they don't sell small quantities. And then we have to keep order in advance of at least 2 weeks. So this was the scenario. Then she took this as a niche market, and then told them that okay, you are spending so much and that investment is blocked. Today morning you give me the order, I will send you the sample by evening if your evening shift requires it. So you don't have to store any inventory of this particular item, and this is major part of the additive manufacturing. So they liked the idea, so she got her first order. When this happened, and they started realizing most of the bulk now she is catering to all those industries. Then came the epidemics, and the business was almost to be halted because of that. But she had some money again in the kitty because the profitability, because of the very good rolling of the money, the profitability was very high. And she said that I can sustain this situation for few months. So she told her people, the workers under her, that I would do one thing. You please stay along. Those 2-3 workers out of 8, 3 stayed, but other 5 also she paid them their salary. And these 3 who continued staying there without work, she paid them salary, plus in March, in epidemic condition, she paid them salary plus salary rise of 20%. So all of them, they are so adhered to the company now that now she is really dumping material into the market, but she has to tell that this company, this quantity of this adhesive by this time, and people adjust between themselves, shapes, everything, but see that the things are delivered on time. So this is one of the things. Take care of your people, and the people will support the company. This is being proved at this point. At the same time, to retain the suppliers, she paid them their dues on time, and that's why when the orders started flowing in more, they knew that this company is going to support us with correct financial things, and they offered her correct amount of credit whenever required, and she could multiply her production because of that. Third thing which she had done, that she saw that the things are delivered and new adhesives, new requirements are also developed and catered in time, and she demonstrated it by standing on the customer's machine, that whatever tests they want, it all tests are being passed, rather this is performing better. So standing with the customer, standing with the supplier, and having the workers or team as a cohesive family, she has achieved it. And by end of this month, when this financial year would be ending, she will be crossing from 1.5 or 1.6 crores to 5 crores. Why a jump in epidemic condition? Such a big jump. And this is because of very nice planning. Even in between, the raw material prices have increased, but she increased her turnover and catered more market to have the same total dollar earns, what we say, same or same proportion when she is doing it. And this is a very good example which is copyable by many of our entrepreneurs. Another example I would like to give you is Ganesh Kadam. Through BYST, 6 years back, I had supported him with finance of 8 lakhs rupees. The finance was given by Bank of Baroda, the channel partner for BYST, Bharatiya Yuva Shakti Trust. I think most of you must be knowing it. It's a trust started by JRD Tata and run by daughter of Venkat Raman, who was our president. And it's an organization having about in 6 states a good presence, where mentor-mentee relationship is like Guru Shishya Parampara, and handholding is done for 2 years, 3 years till his business gets settled. And almost no NPS in I am working with this organization for 12 years. It is more than 600 entrepreneurs and hardly any NPA. That's the kind of achievement when you go with it. So he came to me after 5 years. He had not only repaid the bank in time, but he wanted to buy more machines. Rather, from his own kitties, he had started with that finance which we had given of 8 lakhs with 4 machines. Now he has got 17 machines in his, and he was to buy more. So he came back. So can we not manufacture it in India? I said, we'll do it. When I started analyzing it, I thought that it's all mechanical machine and let us develop it into CNC. How much we can reduce? So from 2200 parts, we reduced it to 800 parts. Reduced 1800 parts and 400 parts written, which were very vital for the basic function, and we made it PLC driven. Now, because in between of the pandemic situation, he had to concentrate on mass, and this has sidelined. But now we are redeveloping it to launch it into the product. All the tests or basic trials are okay, but now we are working on costing part of it so that it can be sold at an internationally based price, and we're working on this. But step by step, when you study your product, re-engineering is very essential, because unless and until you have re-engineered the product, you do not create USP of your own and don't enter into the business. And this is what I would suggest to all the entrepreneurs to whom you are guiding, all big force here in TTA. I think if I am in a position to help this situation, I am ready to offer my services. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kiran Nawate, for wonderful presentation with case studies. I really appreciate. And Ravindra Joshi, we can give opportunity to him to give a presentation to our young members from colleges. So we will decide the date and time, but we want Ravindra Joshi's presentation for the benefit of our student members. Thanks a lot. Before we go for question and answer session, I will request participants to identify themselves and ask the questions. So please shoot out your questions. Participants, go ahead.
Yes, welcome.
Please, yeah. Manish Patil again, and again on the subject innovation and incubation management.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Institution.
And
So
thank
you,
for giving me
thank you.
the
So
chance to be
don't
on in
miss.
this platform.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Kiran Nawate.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hold. I will give you. So next Sunday, don't miss this opportunity. I will